Right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Today, we kick off a new format. If you didn't watch yesterday's live stream, I highly recommend go back, rewatch it whenever you have the time. We just bounce ideas back and forth. I originally had this idea on the flight back from Europe, and we're going to give it a go. We're going to test this out for the month of May and take it from there. So I want to say a few things first, right? This is not me promising every single viewer 1 million in annual reoccurring revenue. This is us building the systems, the workflows, the mindset, the daily habits that you need to accomplish that, right? So every weekday, we're going to focus on building one piece of this $1 million annual reoccurring revenue operating system, so to speak. I haven't dialed in the name yet. We're really figuring this out as we go. You know, I solidified the idea yesterday with the help of you guys and girls. But like, we're gonna work on this together. We're gonna build this out together, and I'm really looking forward to it. Our main focus is gonna be around OpenClaw and Hermes, and we're gonna be using primarily ChatGPT with a little touch of Opus 4.7. So yeah, I think that wraps up the intro. Let's get started, shall we? We're gonna go straight to our executive assistants. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Jordan? Welcome back. How you doing today? I would love almost fully automated workflow with only touch points for approvals, deployments, ideas, sign off, etc. Okay. Think linear may be a good tool to use. Okay. Now, thinking broad strokes, what industry, what type of workflows, right? Because to automate workflows as just like the surface level, there's so much underneath that, right? Let me also make sure this audio is good because now, whoa, my voice is loud. What type of workflows, right? Because to automate workflows as just like the surface level, there's so much underneath that, right? Bear with me. Also make sure this audio is good. We're gonna sort through the sound issue right now because this is loud. Now, whoa, my voice is loud. What type of workflows, right? Because to automate workflows as just like the surface level, there's so much underneath. One second, I gotta dial this in. I can't be screaming into your ears. Also make sure this audio is good. We're gonna sort through the sound issue right now because this is loud. Okay, we can go up one more. Now, whoa, my voice is loud. What type of workflow? To automate workflows as just like the surface level, there's so much. One second, I gotta dial this in. I can't be screaming into your ears. Make sure this audio is good. We're gonna sort through the sound issue right now because this is loud. Okay, we can go up one more. Whoa, my voice is loud. Okay, I think we're good. I think that's good. Forgive me if I screamed into your eardrums there. Got to dial this in. Yo, welcome back. How you doing today, man? Sorry, you've been making a few fitness apps, and all of it has been built using Cursor and Codex. Right on. I now want to automate the future build workflow from idea, plan, build, etc. Okay. I'm late. Yo, Aura, welcome. Welcome back. I believe I've seen your name before, and if not, welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. Right on. Let's go. So Jordan, out of curiosity, is this your background? Is this what you would consider one of your strengths? Do you know this industry very well? Because to preface, right, for anybody thinking of their idea, I think a good place to start is what you know, right? What you enjoy most. I don't want to say what you're most passionate about because I know it's different for everybody, but sometimes what you're most passionate about, you don't want to monetize or you don't want to pursue financially because it takes the passion out of it, but that's different for everybody. So I can't really make that as a definitive statement. But I think it's really analyzing what are your strengths, what do you know more than anybody else in your realm, in your group of friends, in your family, and really tackle that, because what you know most, you'll be able to automate most. You'll be able to create offerings from most. I think that's a great starting point to start thinking of ideas. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but that is a great start. I built out an app for a coach. He's now using it with his 200 clients. He's now been asked a lot from other coaches what app he uses, etc. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you already have the proof of work right there, right? White label it, or even turn it into a product that all the coaches use, right? And I'm sure it would be difficult to physically go to every single gym, but you know, showing that physical presence, giving that real life demo to all the gyms nearby, all the coaches nearby, take them all out to lunch and just say, hey, listen, I want to share what I've built. I think you can, you know, you can find value in this for you and your clients, you know. I'm more on automating the new features for the apps, et cetera, making it build a lot quicker. Okay, so you're more talking about if there's a bug, having the bug self-detect, self-fix itself via AI agents, as well as new features, right? All right, let's catch up on comments. I'm setting up ice cream shop on OpenClaw. Nice, nice. Elaborate a little further, please. Oh, I did. There's a delay. So you just got to be a little patient with the chat because I tried to go down one by one. And if I accidentally clicked it, that was on me, you know. But I tried to never let a comment go past, ever. So this ice cream shop, I'm guessing there's humans, right, that are operating this ice cream shop? Or are you thinking like a full-on robotics ice cream shop with no human interaction? Okay, nice. Yeah, so what can I do to help you, essentially, Jordan? Like, what are you having the most difficulties with right now? Okay. Tell me more. This seems like a very interesting concept. So answer my question though. Are there going to be humans involved? Nope. Yeah, robotics. Okay. Right on. Right on. I love that. So is this going to be like one of those kiosks, or is it going to be a full-on retail store with like a decent amount of square footage? Kind of like that. I forget what country it's in, but there's a fully robotic McDonald's now with like one human who stops by to check on things. But like everything's prepped robotically, right? With robots. The point of sale system, I mean, is already been like that for most McDonald's, but is it gonna be like that? Yo, what's up, Ori? How you doing today? And let's do a quick sound check. How's the music and how's the sound? I'm curious. Is it a good balance right now? Because I gotta dial in these settings until I make a decision about this mic. I'm curious. Is it a good balance? Sounds like a good balance to me. Okay, right on. So, I mean, that's a decent size. I mean, it's not massive, right? But that's like enough for you to walk in. It's kind of like an ATM kind of like room, you know, at night that you walk into ATM rooms that feels like about 5,000 square feet, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay, nice, nice. Hey, right on. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Watch the beginning of this live stream if you're just tuning in late. I just kind of give a TLDR of this idea of this new series that we're starting, of my focus around this series, right? And it's, you know, we're building in public here with this idea. Just it formed last week. Yesterday, you and me, we kind of vibed our way through the idea. And today we're just starting it, right? Like I don't have a definitive preset curriculum or anything like that. We're gonna build this idea as we go, and I'm here to be as helpful as possible while also building in public. So it's a double whammy. Sound is so profound. Are you talking about the music in the background? The music in the background is actually made with Flow Music, which was previously producer.ai. I made my own tracks because I got tired of using all the freebie stuff that just sounded too basic. Okay, perfect. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, you missed it at the beginning of the stream. I was like, I had to go listen back, and it sounded like I was yelling at you guys. I was very loud. Hey, Klein. Welcome. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. How you doing today? Think like a Starbucks. Okay. For some reason, for me though, this sound is kind of distracting. Not much, to be honest. I just find these live streams helpful. Thank you. I know the majority of 200 clients. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, and here's another idea if you haven't thought of it already. I'm sure you have. But having a feature request button or a help button that allows them to submit a feature request. And then you can build out an agent or two or three to first, you know, create it like an inbound mechanism that brings in that request. And then another agent that then applies that request to a staging version of your app. And then, you know, one QA, right? And ideally you would want a QA before you push anything to your production app. But that's what I'm working on with my product OS and the things that we've been building is I want an automation to where people can request new features. The agents will handle the inbound, the strategy, the build, the QA, and then they ping me to give that final, like, you know, that final wave of approval. Do I like this? Do I want to make any changes? Or do we push it live with production, right? And if you haven't thought of that, I hope you take action on that, because it's like, it takes so much off of your plate from having to deal with those requests manually and respond manually and read them individually. Just have the agents do it for you. You just have to build out a team of 2 or 3. You could probably get away with 1, to be honest, and just create, you know, certain rules for creating temporary sessions as sub-agents and have it operate that way as well. That's entirely up to you, depending on your hardware resources available. I know I need to work on the bug side, the orchestrator to take the feature request to build out the plan and decide. Okay, I mean, listen, I went off on a rant without reading your second comment. It sounds like you're right on track with the idea. Have you heard by Luna running a store in SF? Let me go check. I have not, no. I am in the Bay Area, but I was just in Europe for a year. So I have been back for 3 days, 4 days. So I'm a little out of the loop with what's over here. Maybe I did hear of this. Let's bring this on the screen.
This is probably the most San Francisco thing you'll see today. In the city's Cow Hollow neighborhood, there's a store that's being run by an AI bot, and humans are the employees. Let's check it out.
I want to see the store.
Behind this store.
Actually, I don't think I've seen this one. I would have remembered this logo.
Using anthropic technology, the ones who made her, founders of Andon Labs, Lucas Peterson and Axel Backlund.
She decided what items to purchase and sell in the store. She hired people to manage the store physically, and now she is making a profit.
Axel and Lucas are high school friends from Sweden.
Cool.
Luna is an experiment that started with these vending machines. She ran them well.
Okay, I remember seeing these vending machines. I believe they put one of these in Anthropic's headquarters, right? So now whoever was responsible for the vending machines are now building out their own, or have built out their own store. That's really cool. Wow. I saw some field notes at the bottom of that composition too. I'm trying to see the reference. Forgive me. Have what in your dashboard too? Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about the bugs and feature requests that we were discussing earlier. Saludos, Mud Farms. Saludos. Oh, salute. Welcome back, Rue. How you doing today? I read Farms, fams. Listen, it's a morning for me. I've been up for a few hours, but I delayed my coffee to make sure I had a nice, fresh batch for the stream. So I'll get caffeinated up here within the next 10 minutes or so. I'm still mid on episode 3 of your bootcamp. Was cool. Good to know, man. Thank you. I'm happy to hear you're finding value in it. And listen, you know, that bootcamp was just like this new format that we're doing. When I have an idea, I like to test the idea. And the bootcamp was something that was inspired from just seeing all of these different channels try to paywall content. And I'm like, yeah, I can create a bootcamp. I can put it behind a school membership, yada, yada, yada. But I'd rather just do it for free. And I'd rather do all bootcamps for free, right? So that's where that idea came from. We created the curriculum over the course of a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks on our live streams. We worked on it together. So if you go view those live streams before the bootcamp even started, you'll see the building process and the ideation behind it. Listen, it's not perfect, but I think there's still a lot of value in that bootcamp. I'm gonna tease, we're doing a second bootcamp, and it's gonna be specifically for OpenAI subs, building with GPT 5.5 primarily on medium and high reasoning, but predominantly medium reasoning, because I found that to be the sweet spot for my agents, at least. Hey, I'm happy to hear this. I'm thrilled. Thank you. That's my hope, right? To inspire, to share. This is awesome. Thank you. And I hope I want to say this right. Sanveeth OS. I love the OS on the name, I gotta say. I've been building my coding assistant Aura code, running it with Olama local, Quen at 3.5. I'm quite impressed with the results by running it on my 8 gig laptop. It's slow. Yeah. Listen, man, I don't know about you guys, so I'm going to go on a little rant. I was just speccing out a new build because I wanted to have a new desktop here. And it's only been a year since I last spec'd it, and I decided I'll do it when I get back. NVMEs have gone up significantly in price. Like, what? WTF? Like, I get it. They're chips. I get it. But come on, man. A 2 gig NVMe is only almost $500. You got to be kidding me. Like, that's just insane. Luckily, I have enough old NVMEs and a few Samsung, what is it, 880 or 890 Pros or whatever. I know the new version's what, 980, something like this, but it's like, man, speccing out a new build right now is just painful. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to do it. I found this old, I am going to be getting a new M4, probably refurbished, M5 if I can get a good discount on it. And as soon as I do that, this M1 Max is going to go to my server rack. It's going to be on 24/7. I also have this old ProArt. It's got a Xeon processor. It's a laptop, one of those 17-inch laptops. Xeon processor with about 48 gigs of memory. So I'm going to put that in the server rack, keep that on 24/7. That way I don't have to go and pay for new builds and add memory to old servers. That's just going to be too costly. But yeah, I digress. Gotta love this technology, but come on, manufacturing, catch up. Like, it'll catch up. These prices won't stay this way forever. But it is a temporary issue, you know. Slow start as well. Hey, you and me both. Still haven't yet to build up my mission control, been dragging my feet. What can I do to help? What can I do to help? So I check your audio on YouTube. Because when I went to test my audio, it sounded like I was screaming into your ears. So I can turn it up one more notch here, but I felt like maybe it's something on your YouTube that you just have to add the sound up and it'll be okay. Let me know if that fixes it, Matthew. Bikash. Bikash or Bakash? I'm guessing it's Bikash. Right on, Bikash. Nice to meet you. Thanks for sharing. Now I shouldn't forget your name. I'm usually good with names and remembering conversations, and especially a PFP like that, as adorable as that little baby right there. What's your favorite flavor of coffee? Marcelo, Puerto Rico, which is located in St. Mark's and Soho, has some great coffee. They ship to. Okay. Interesting. Favorite coffee. Right now I'm drinking some Italian coffee that I brought back from Portugal. And it's good. I like it. It's meant for an espresso machine, so it's very strong. Over here, I'll be honest, because of prices being the way they are, I'm very frugal. I try to take good care of my body with what I buy. But when it comes to coffee, I'll go to Whole Foods and I'll see what has the prime offer. And then I usually get the cheapest one and I try all the different brands because they all go on sale, you know, in a loop throughout the course of a month or two. Every single brand will eventually be 25% off. It's just you kind of got to wait for that process. And I like Whole Foods because at least the local ones, they have a lot of the local roaster, do you call them roasteries or coffee roaster shops or whatever? So that's been my approach when I'm back in the States, but I brought back about 2 kilos of this. So I'll be good on my own coffee from Europe. At least through June, I'd imagine. I doubt I go through this all in May. I'll probably run out of this in the middle of June. All right, sorry. I have been ranting too much. Let's let's also, I did prep a few things. And listen, we're figuring this out as we go, but I'm going to start building out a library of resources of fundamentals that I think people should have to get to our end goal of helping you, right, get to 1 million in annual reoccurring revenue. So let's catch up on comments though real quick. I know, right? Yeah. And that's another thing I was going to buy too last year before I left, and I just didn't. I should have. Whatever. Can't change the past. I'm planning on doing this. How is the result? I don't mind slower performance as long as quality. And I'm guessing you're talking about using an old computer? Or are you talking about ChatGPT? I'm not sure. Listen, I'm not against them. I don't agree that you solely need a Mac Mini, that it's the best solution for your OpenClaw setup, personally. I just don't vibe with that. I'm all for, especially when you're starting out, testing. Keep costs as low as possible. Unless you have the budget for it, then by all means, buy whatever you want. But I'm not going to go and buy Mac Minis. I'd rather set up a nice server with, you know, at least a RAID 5 or even a RAID 10. Because with a Mac Mini, you're also dependent on that storage not crashing, which for the most part, they're reliable. But listen, disasters happen. Failures occur. When you rely solely on one drive to back up your system, or rather you don't back up your system, then you're kind of effed, right? So, built by Andos Labs, partnered with Anthropic. Okay. Nice. So that's why they were in Anthropic's lobby, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thank you. And wait, did I miss a comment? Yeah, I did. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. Not sure how you can help, but I can't wait until you spend more dedicated time with us, even if you create a VIP group or something like you alluded to. Yeah, slowly but surely, we're building that out, right? I had no idea what an NVMe? What's an NDMV? I know it's probably just, you know, typing issue right there, but yeah, NVMe. They have, I don't have any handy right now, but there's one in the server rack that's spare. I have a spare 4 terabyte in there too, which is awesome. It's awesome. I should probably just sell it if I don't find a use for it, just given how the prices have gone up, but we're okay for now. Yeah, so here's the thing also about building local LMs. It's like you have to invest a lot in the hardware. And I know there's a lot of newer models that require less storage, less memory to run, but yeah, I'm not quite there yet. Once this channel becomes my full-time thing, once it starts earning some real revenue, I will definitely invest, you know, a big chunk of that revenue back into experimenting with you, buying hardware to experiment with you. What's up, Pokemon? Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Good to be back. Nice, nice. Hey, listen, as I said, right? I'm not like, if you have the money for it, by all means go for it. But I'm a big advocate for using what you have first, trying to repurpose old hardware first, and then justify the expense second, right? Nice. Hey, listen, if it works, it works. Your voice OS really slow. What do you mean? Are you talking about low? Because I'm having mixed feedback here. I think just based off of these past 2 days of troubleshooting, I'm gonna have to grab that whole audio interface back there and then just set it up here. I think that's the solution here. Because I also don't have a feedback like in this headset. With that audio interface, I can at least hear myself talking back a little bit. This one I can't. It's all noise cancellation, and like when I do this and hear myself talking, I'm like, wow, I'm loud. So things we gotta dial in with this streaming in this studio for the first time in over a year. You know, for the price of a fully built custom PC, I got a cheaper MacBook Pro with more RAM for less than a PC. Yeah, yeah. My OB. Okay. All right. Listen, we'll dial this in for tomorrow. I don't want to spend the stream troubleshooting unless you guys don't mind. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit more. This is also like my travel mic that I normally bring when I go to hotels, and it's just a little USB mic, you know, so it doesn't use the, what's it called? The XDR connector. I think it's XDR, right? Oh, let's have a look. I'm having a brain fart. Let me go back. What was that name? Andros? Andons. This coffee. Yeah, I also hate having this mic right in front of my keyboard too. It's really annoying. Interesting choice for a header, but I would much rather see like what they're building. Man, how much do these cost? Interesting. Yeah, so Gator, welcome back. I remember you. So right now, personally, I don't use this this workflow. I did have this workflow in place for older systems, but as soon as OpenClaw came out, I migrated that into OpenClaw and created a front end for it. So it still technically operates the same way, right? It still spins up a Claude CLI session. It still runs a / command. It still references markdown files. It creates markdown rendered files properly. But it's all accessible through Clearmud OS now. But I understand context management at scale is probably your biggest challenge and opportunity. Are you saying opportunity as far as creating a product or opportunity for improvement? The main machine, AMD Ryzen 9. And to finish the thought, Gator, like, I think if it works for you, by all means, I feel like that's probably the more efficient way to do it. But, you know, I was all for automating my entire workflow and my entire day-to-day when I truly understood the power of OpenClaw. So that's why I migrated those old workflows that were Claude CLI plus Obsidian into OpenClaw. And now I don't even touch those old workflows. I just click a button on the front end, or I talk to my agent and I tell it to run the command for whatever idea that I have. I do need to dig more into Obsidian though. I did love working in Obsidian. I haven't, I even removed it off my dock because I hadn't opened it in so long. AMD Ryzen. Seems like a nice build right here. Seems like a really nice build right here. I like it. That's solid. Listen, the techie in me, the Dexter's Laboratory person in me is wishing I had that right here on my desk to play with. I'll be honest with you. It's a nice setup. Yo, what's up, Mr. Baker? Welcome back. Yeah. Happy to help. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. 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 Really? That's not good. That can't be a good experience on your end. Give me a second. I'm just going to test on a... Where is it? There it is. There's that POV. I don't see much of a delay, so I wonder where that's coming from. Huh. I'll spend, I didn't spend much time after stream yesterday working on audio, but I will, I promise, after stream today. After I eat some lunch, I'll dial things in on my end, do some recordings and test. We might even go live a little bit later just for the sake of testing, but okay. All right. Good to know. We'll get this dialed in. We'll get this dialed in today after stream. I don't want to waste your guys' time and do it on stream here. Okay. Oh, I realize I'm catching up on comments here, so forgive me. Hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Welcome back, Barika. It wouldn't be a bad idea, right? Just for the sake of testing the build. Oh, let's bring this back. I don't see a link, so I'm guessing YouTube blocked the link, maybe in chat. Yeah, this is a new concept. Listen, we're learning as we go. I haven't done much building in public today. We're just more vibing. We're here in chat, and if anybody's curious about just maybe in chat, if anybody's curious on a TLDR of this new format, just start this live stream from the start. Watch the first minute or so, and you get an idea of what it's about and what our purpose is, what our goals are. So if anyone needs help building anything, let's build something live. Let's do a little tester. I do plan on having a bit of a curriculum because I do want to start setting the foundation to like building out a map, so to speak, of certain fundamentals that you should dial in on your end before you can achieve this goal, right? Some people might get lucky and you might hit it if one of your posts go viral and your tool's that good. But for most people, you're going to need to have a certain framework in place to even reach it, right? Yeah, sorry, I'm catching up on comments here. I know I'm way behind. Okay. Agentic marketing management web apps. Okay. Okay. Opportunity for improvement. Got it. What do you mean? I told my OpenClaw to always render markdown files, you know, within our Clearmud OS. So, I mean, if you want to see, this is technically, this YouTube script section here is technically a / YouTube script command that is called via REST API to Claude in the CLI. So I still use Claude Opus 4.7 for this. Anytime I call, create a script, it goes through my process of creating a script just as it would with the old workflow. Nothing has changed, right? Anytime I want to make adjustments to that workflow, I just go into Muddy OS. I pop open my terminal that I made and I select Clearmud OS and then I spin up Claude, right? And then I do work on that underlying / command right here. That way I'm working off of that code base that I handed off to OpenClaw. But that's been that workflow. And then as you can see here, this is a markdown file. I don't know if you can see, it's got it cut off, but you can see how it's rendered nicely, right? I just had to train, because at first when I migrated the code base over to OpenClaw, no, it just gave me a wall of text. I had to specify that I wanted to view markdown files like a doc viewer, like a markdown render friendly viewer, right? So just trial and error, just improving it. This is a good idea. This is actually a good idea. Let's go and add that right now. Let's pull this off screen. I'm just going to call it 1M ARR for now, and we'll make adjustments to that. All right. I find myself using medium more than anything. I still use high when I need to, when I feel it needs that level of reasoning and intelligence. But for the most part, all of my agents run off of medium. They don't overthink things. There's no verbose responses anymore. They get shit done. Excuse my language. But medium is my sweet spot. It may not be your sweet spot. I tested, you know, a couple hours a day of just alternating the reasoning models or the thinking levels until I realized medium is that sweet spot for me. But I jump between medium and high in the CLI. Trying to engineer economical caching systems to build lightweight context management systems that field the knowledge later for agentic marketing web app that I'm working on. Ooh, okay. I like this. Who's your target audience? Because marketing is very broad, right? Who are you marketing for? Or do you envision it being used across every single industry? Because if you do, that's great, but I think you would still need to start with one industry. You would still need to niche down, become the go-to, that become just a powerhouse in that industry, and then expand, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just from my perspective and my experience. That's how I would approach that. Niching down, starting small, and then expand into other industries from there. Hey, I would love to go. I would love to go. Just let me know when it's live. I don't go, I mean, in the past, I haven't been to the city yet, aside from flying into SFO. I'm right over the bridge in Oakland, North Oakland. So, but, you know, once there's conferences and certain things worth going to, I was having so much FOMO, fear of missing out. Not really, but like when I was in Europe and I would see all these like things happening in San Francisco, I'm like, man, that would have been so easy to hop on BART and get to that venue. But, you know, or drive, but, you know, driving over to the city, that's a younger thing. I think now that I'm older, I just take BART. I don't really care. What's up, John? Johnny Fives. Welcome back. How you doing today? I'm always spinning up new Hermes agent instances to test new things out so I don't mess up my main agent. Hey, I briefly scanned the Discord this morning and I saw your notes. I'll get back to you after stream. But that is very cool that it's like they're creating these plug and play plugins for your dashboard so you don't have to build those features out yourself. That is an awesome find. And as I continue to work on my product OS here, I first need to update Hermes because I haven't updated it in a little bit. But let's see. These actually aren't ready. Let's actually vibe code this a little bit while we go through and answer all these questions. Build all the things. If you're looking at Clearmud OS, that is off of OpenClaw. Muddy OS and Clearmud OS are off of the same OpenClaw agent system that I set up. And then Product OS is my Hermes multi-agent team that I've been fine-tuning. Yeah, the way I use it doesn't violate terms of service. So I can't use Anthropic CLI as a model for an agent, but I use it on my agent's VM all the time, right? And I have certain automations in place now, certain crons that will spin up a terminal, call Claude, and do the work with Claude's Opus 4.7. So just little workarounds that I had to develop. But when it comes to the personality, no, it does not work. I tried for days to get it to work, never got it to work, regardless of all the claims on Twitter saying people got it to work. I just, yeah. Yeah, no, like, listen, I use Claude CLI on the VM itself, as you can see. I have Muddy. I mean, it's very bare right now. I don't have much open on those machines, but business owners, 1 to 5 million in revenue without a marketing leader internally. Okay, that's a solid niche right there. Automated CMO. My background is fractional CMO consulting. Right on, right on. Okay. So that already niches you down. I mean, when you're targeting revenue like this, you don't necessarily have to niche down per industry. You niche down per revenue, right? Like that's actually very, very smart. And you're dealing with high ticket offers in most cases, I'd imagine, right? Nice. Nice. Let's go. Good stuff. At the very least, if you don't use one of them, I hope you make some good money reselling those. You know what I mean? Why did that pin go away? Right on. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it does. And like, even in Portugal, I would see certain things happening in Lisbon, but even Lisbon, from where I live in the north, it's not that close. I wish more happened in Porto, you know, rather than Lisbon, but it makes sense that Lisbon is that hot spot for conferences and whatnot. Interesting. Maybe I'll have to give it another try, you know? Maybe I'll have to give it another try. So you're saying that your agent's operating solely off of Opus 4.7, the personality and everything? Listen, I haven't attempted since, I think, update 4.14 or 4.15 or 4.12 or something, even that late. But I'll have to try it. I'll have to try it. All right. I want to do a little vibing here. Do a little vibing with our executive assistants and also Codex. I want to finish this partner portal. All right, so I could have sworn we talked about this. If not, this needs to be a rule of thumb moving forward. Anytime you guys are creating new pages or new subdomains for the brand, check out this screenshot. You can see that the content underneath the nav header, it should be restricted to the width of the contents in the nav header. So the logo to the login OAuth icon. That should be the width of all the content below that nav header. All right, we're going to switch gears here and go back to our dashboard that we just deployed yesterday. And let me bring that in. Also, when I'm navigating between menu options, it seems like the title blurb or module changes, but everything below stays static. Listen, this is in production. So if you click on overview, you get an overview. If you click on resources, you get resources. If you click on saved, you get the picture, right? So the contents of each tab should change, period. It should not be consistent across all of them. Billing, we don't need to show that yet. This is something way, way, way down the road. And then more importantly, the products that we do have live, you should bring in the icons from those websites and fix this UI as well. You'll see how the button overlaps with the module. Yeah, for those curious, this is a shared chat I have between Neo, which is my executive assistant in Product OS, which is my Hermes multi-agent team that I'm slowly building out. He's not ready to be shown off too much yet, but he works. And then Muddy is in here as well. So anytime I post something, they go back and forth. I have them now doing work for me. One of them builds something, the other one QAs. They go back and forth a few times until it's ready for my eyes, and then they ping me. It's really awesome. I'm going to be dropping a video this weekend. I think we're going to do the marketing department, where I'm going to set up the comms for Gary, our marketing, excuse me, our CMO on OpenClaw, and then my marketing guy or girl out of my Matrix inspired team from Hermes. We're going to set it up. I'll post that video this weekend to teach you how it's all set up. Our main agent is using long-term memory add-on called Honcho, which is great for personal agent. Yeah, you know, I think I've seen Honcho in the chat before. I just, be honest, haven't had the time to really dig into it. So now that I've started to see it more and more, I think there it is. I want to say Sharma was the other one who brought this up, but I will check that out. Thank you. Hey, if scheduling allows, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. It's technically not public. I might change that at some point, but for now it's invite only. And the way to get invited is to show up to these live streams. So let me send out a Discord link here in a second. What's up, Greek? Welcome back. How you doing today? Thanks for being a part of the coffee crew. Cheers. And I believe I had to change the calendar around. So these are all going to be live streams now. Oh, that's right. We're going to do that beginner friendly video on Saturday. And then Sunday, you guys can expect the video where I connect Hermes and OpenClaw to communicate in a shared Discord channel. Chilling and trading. Right on, right on. Now you're still working with clients one-on-one, right? If I remember correctly. Are you more so just trading it up? All right, let's grab, we'll do a batch of 5 right now. Also, this will be a good test. I had Clay working. He's our Discord bot. So he should automatically apply a role once you go through the onboarding. So test the onboarding right away. And I'll be here to fix anything real time. We'll do this. Expires in 7 days. 5 uses. All right, here you go. Bikash, right? It takes me a bit, but hopefully I got your name right there. Discord link for to win. Yeah, I also, for the record, I removed the Discord prune because I know that, listen, everyone's got their own lives to live. And sometimes you can't check in once every 3 weeks. So originally we had a Discord pruning mechanism where you'd get booted if you're just silent for 3 weeks. I've since removed it for now. But it was to encourage engagement, right? But I realized that's kind of like, it's not fair to everyone who can't show up, you know, every 3 weeks, who are actually truly engaged when they're here. You know what I mean? So I removed that for now. Maybe we bump it up to like 8 weeks, 2 months of inactivity, you get booted. But at the same time, we'll see. As we grow, we'll see. The one thing I didn't want to do, the reason it's not public, is I don't want to open up the floodgates to spam, to scammers, to self-promotion in a negative way, all those things that come along with just a completely open Discord. And then also managing moderators and all that shit, excuse my language, that goes with it. I didn't want to have to deal with that, right? Like, I'd rather have a smaller, intimate crew. So that's why I send out invites during live streams only. Right on, right on. So let me ask you, are you vibe coding anything for what you do? Are you vibe coding maybe a new landing page to bring in more clients? Are you vibe coding any apps for day trading? I'm very curious. Like, you show up every day, you're here watching. Are you vibing? Because I feel like you have a good opportunity, Greek. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you. Sorry, I think I pinned it, but forgot to mention it. Honcho is good for personal assistant, as over time it learns who you are and what you do. And don't like. But doesn't Hermes do this out of the box? Hermes and OpenClaw, but OpenClaw, once you start trimming memory, it kind of affects things a little bit. But for Hermes, it was my understanding that over time, it trains itself and you don't need something like Honcho, right? And you don't need to worry about trimming memory or compacting anything related to memory, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Ninja. Okay. I'll have to check out it Hindsight as well. Not yet. Well, hey, man, let's connect. Let's see. All you got to do is install a few things. I think I have enough content out there if you want to follow the content, or we can talk one-on-one. Tried creating an AI trading bot where I was doing ML training, but the bot was never good enough. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'm sure some people can build really good trading bots, but it's my belief, and I hate to be, I don't think I'm being negative. I think I'm being more pessimistic than anything. It's a lot of the success videos that you see, they go viral for a reason. They're created for a reason. They're created to go viral. They're created for attention. I'm sure there's some very successful trading bots out there. But I think you got to like configure it in a certain way. And most of those people aren't going to share their builds. It depends how you want to start vibe coding. I wouldn't jump straight into OpenClaw or Hermes if I were you. I would jump into like a CLI-based vibe coding thing. Honestly, the best way to start, do you already have a ChatGPT sub or a Claude Pro sub? Oh, wait, didn't they remove Claude Code from Claude Pro? Yeah, that was 1 week ago. No, I mean, ensure you have an active pro or max. So, I mean, this was updated 15 minutes ago, so I don't think it would change. Like, if you already, Greek, if you already are paying for one of these subs, all you got to do is install Codex or Anthropic or Claude Code in the CLI and just start vibe coding. And I can teach you, I can give you a quick TLDR. Just start building. Say, hey, build me this, build me that. Just start with the simplest of prompts. And then you'll start to get ideas, and then you'll start to just build more complex things as you grow. I think the best thing to do is just to start. Build the simplest freaking application you can. Don't focus on hosting, just focus on local hosted, set up preview for me, all that. Like, just start building. That's the best advice I have. As I've just tested the UX UI ability of Gemma 4.3.1, and it's freaking awesome compared to Claude Code and Codex. Interesting. Let's go, Kieran. Welcome back. Happy to have you. Basic Hermes agent memory does learn, but it's limited. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I have dubbed Mr. Baker as the Hermes expert in the community so far. So I'm going to come to you with all my Hermes questions. Created a back tester that is supposed to scan the web for strategies, test them for validity and optimization. Haven't gotten anything super promising yet. Okay. Hey, it's just starting. Oaks. Hey, thanks for being here. Yeah. Yeah. This right here, right? Like, I think you have to have that fundamental knowledge of trading. It's like, yes, vibe coding's easy, but building something like that requires knowledge, requires training, requires a level of understanding that you need to create the application to operate in a certain way, or the bot to operate in a certain way. I mean, I don't know. I can't say I agree, because now it allows me to take my ideas that I have and visualize them very quickly to where I don't have to have my brain stale on an old idea. Like, I figure out really quickly if it's viable for my internal operations, my day-to-day, or possibly a front-facing product. And then I either add it to the queue to keep building, or I just trash it and move on. So it's kind of, it benefits us in that way, to where it takes all that time, that downtime it used to take to like build out these prototypes and come up with these ideas. But John, I think, Johnny, I'm not sure if you've heard John or Johnny, but I think it can go both ways depending on the type of person you are. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think Honcho was originally recommended for OpenClaw. That's why I have that favorited. I'm working on connecting GHL with my OpenClaw, but at least. Okay. Nice. Nice. Buy low, sell high. It's that easy. Yeah. Day one of the new format. Yeah. And listen, it'll be more structured moving forward. Today we're vibing. I want to make sure I address every single question, every single comment. I did start preparing some guides to follow, some things that we want to do, a foundation that we'd like to set. But it's day one. We do it live around here. We build in public around here. If you've been around long enough, you know, like, this is not scripted. This is not pre-recorded. Like, we do it live, and we work through the kinks as we go. So that's what we're doing here. And this audio is bugging me because I'm getting mixed messages from everybody. So we got to dial in the audio as well. Vinny, why didn't you try Kimi 2.6 yet? Looks good and cheap. Now that I'm locked into the studio, I have more time on my hands. I will. I have some free Kimi API credits that I need to use up. So I will be testing 2.6 very soon. Very soon. All right. Where's Discord? There it is. it looks like they've been working. Let's see. All right. Wait, did they commit? Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like how my agents didn't just YOLO that, but it's not even loading. I think we also need to preview. Nope. Blank white screen with the background transparent. Nothing's visible. All right, need to use the restroom real quick. So BRB. Well, I'm really glad they didn't push it to production, huh? Also want to update Hermes too. I'm not going to update OpenClaw yet. Not yet. What are your thoughts on AI as a first-class money-earning mechanism versus mainly an effort multiplier? You know, off the top of my head, like first-class money-earning mechanism, I think that obviously the more resources somebody has, they're going to have an upper hand. Now, maybe I'm misinterpreting this part of your question, but like first-class money, are you referencing like old money or people who tend to have more money in the bank or born in families that are very well off? Is that what you're referencing? Because maybe I'm misunderstanding this. So before I continue down that thought, I want to ask that really quickly. Switch the port now, 7722. What is going on here? It's on a whole different IP too. Same thing. Oh, they're still working through it. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, like a SaaS. Yeah, I think, right, it has its place for both. You know, I want to think thoughtfully about this. So like from the perspective of an effort multiplier, like we are truly in an amazing time where you don't have to do all of that research ahead of time. You just have to have an idea, and you have to know how to ask questions to LLMs or to AI. And if you don't know how to ask questions, the beauty is you ask it the question of, hey, I don't know how to ask questions, but here's what I want to do, right? So it's a time saver. It allows you to focus on the things that really matter. Listen, I think it's a net positive for humanity. I know not everybody agrees, but it allows us to stop wasting time on ideas that don't matter, you know? And then when it comes to like a first-class money earning mechanism, I think anybody who knows something very well can make money from AI. And more to elaborate a little bit further, like we all have our own backgrounds. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses. We all have unique experiences in life, unique workflows and careers. And a lot of us have dabbled in different careers. So we have this experience that could be in the sports industry, but also the tech industry. And using that knowledge, that experience to create something based off of your strengths and your knowledge. I mean, it's never been easier to do it, right? So it's like, it's just a matter of becoming more efficient at taking an idea and creating a sellable product from it. And I think a big common misconception is it's easy to make money with AI. Listen, I think it's easy to make money with AI to an extent. You have to have that process dialed in, right? Or you need to have something so fucking game changing that it just goes viral. Or you be one of these, I mean, this kind of feels like the ICO era where AI companies are popping up left and right. And you know, maybe 80% of them will be dead in 10 years or even 5 years. They're just raising money to cash out, right? So we're also in that era as well. So that's another way to make money. I'm not advising you do this. Put together a really cool pitch deck, have a cool use case, don't really have a solid product, just raise money and then bail, right? That a lot of people are doing that as well, right? So like, but I think we're in a unique opportunity where if you just really focus on your experiences and your strengths or something you want to work in based off of all of those fundamentals that you know, it's never been easier to build a business, build a product, deploy it. I mean, it's never been cheaper to do it either. I think it's a great time for all this, but it's also, there's a lot of misconceptions as far as how easy it is. I think it's easier for people who already have a big audience. Yes, right? There's certain names out there who it's easy for them to sell to because they already have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? But for somebody just starting out, you really got to focus on the product itself and making sure that it actually solves a pain point for somebody, right? And the pain point could be something simple. Maybe people are scared to use AI. Maybe you solve that pain point for a specific use case. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you solve pain points for stay-at-home moms who don't want to learn how to communicate with LLMs, right? And so forth and so forth and so forth. So that's my brain dump. That's my brain dump. I hope it's helpful. I hope it answers your question. Ryan, thanks for the good one. Been using GLM 5.1 and Kimi 2.6 via Ollama Cloud. They're both really good for agents. Ollama Cloud can be a bit slow though. Okay. Good to know. I don't have experience with those right now. So I wish I could chime in more. John, welcome back. How you doing today? Yeah, like downtime isn't always a bad thing. It's great for the multitaskers if you're working on different models, different CLIs. Like when there's downtime, just move over to another model, move over to another project, and then come back to it, But when you're solely reliant on one model, one CLI, one session, I could see how annoying that could get. Okay. Hey, thanks for expanding on what Ryan was saying. I'm catching up on comments here. Yeah, I hope my rant and my thoughts kind of answered it and shares what I think from that perspective. I wish I could be like print me money. Maybe I will try to prompt Hermes to loop itself, build a SaaS product. Doesn't matter what problems you solve. Don't stop until you make 1 million. Interesting. Listen, I'm all for niching down, so I would try to niche down. I would try to close that loop when it comes to like making sure it's not too broad, because You know, maybe it will just have this endless cycle of bad ideas and just going to be burning through credits, or eventually burning a hole in your pocket, you know? Yo, what's up, Sharma? It's never been easier to build those ideas. I think maybe, listen, there's this, I actually powered on this old laptop, and there's this interesting interview that I think everybody here should watch. Because I also struggled with this for a while. Let me pull it up. Of trying to perfect something before I show it off. And this is the founder of Rap Genius. It's a very old interview. Let me pull it up though. I think it'll be very valuable for some. What's it called? I think it's called Worse is Better. Let's go look for it. Let's actually go into our YouTube here. Oh, we're not signed in. That's weird. Worse is Better. No, it's very old. It's like 10 years old. There it is. 12 years ago.
So if you know anything about hip hop, you know that the bigger posse wins. So this is like the whole front row.
Listen, we're not going to watch the whole thing. I highly recommend, though, just go watch this. It's like, watch it on the background. Don't just solely focus on it. I really love a lot of the things he talks about in this one. Like, a lot of the things we think matters for our web apps or for our products, most of them don't actually matter. What matters is you start shipping things. Even if it's shitty, worse is better than perfect, right? Because then you get feedback into what really matters as you deploy things, as you build things. So that's the gist of the video. Highly recommend it. Watch it. It's worth a watch for sure. Nice, nice. Let us know the progress, Peter. Let us know the progress. Yeah, listen, I'm going to go back to that rant. Worse is better. Just fucking ship it, man. It's never been easier to ship an idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. The imperfections give you the feedback to make it better or validate whether or not it's a good idea, and then you trash it and move on to the next. Yeah, you never know. You never know. And for those curious, Ryan also has a Neo. He created, in his defense, he created his far before I even set up Hermes or decided on my theme. So he's the true OG from when you compare us to him. I do not have any suggestions at this moment. No. Let's go. Fourth. Welcome back. But maybe the audience does. So if anybody wants to chime in with your experience on open source models, please do. Interesting. Interesting. Nice, nice. Right on. That's awesome. Oh, that's right. Build, debug, ship. I'm a build, ship, then debug. Hey, listen, like debug a little bit, right? Like get that minimum viable product working to an extent, but shipped is better than not, you know? And there's something to say about, I think if you watch enough interviews about enough people who have become successful in whatever they created, the common ground you'll find is shipping sooner. Like if you wait until it's perfect to ship something, you waited too long, right? Like that's a common theme amongst a lot of these interviews. And I've spent a lot of time watching a lot of interviews from various figures who have become successful in their field and whatever they built or whatever business they built or app they built. And that's just a common theme. It's like, if you wait until things are perfect to ship it, you've waited way too long. So it's just better just to get something out there sooner than later. I mean, look at, I think Airbnb and Instagram are good use cases. Like when they first came out, they were meant for something else. They shifted into something else, but that's because they deployed a product that was worse. And then they got that user feedback and realized it could be something else. Same with YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't YouTube supposed to be a dating app? I think that's the story behind it. Don't quote me. But I think they built YouTube to be a dating app first. But then they realized they had something else on their hands, right? That's the whole idea behind just shipping something. Worse is better, right? Not waiting until like YouTube was never the idea. The idea of YouTube came from shipping bad ideas. So hopefully this is inspiring one of you. Okay. Okay, nice. I want to double check audio. I still feel like I'm loud, but I'll sort this out today. Let's go back to our agents here. I want to get this dashboard dialed in. There it is. Looks much better. I mean, it's not perfect. Are we gonna be nitpicky about this? Should we be nitpicky? I think we should. But when we're logged in, it is gonna look a little different. So I'm just gonna approve it. All right, for each option in the dashboard, less is more. I think there's a way for us to simplify each menu option. And the overview is not a membership overview, right? This is not a membership dashboard. This is just a dashboard for OAuth accounts, right? For anybody can create can log in with their OAuth and have their own dashboard, right? The member specific it's something we're deploying down the road, and that's going to be under the community section, right? So less is more. And I also think that resources and saved could be co-located into one tab. I think that's unnecessary. Support. I think there should be a quick, easy form for people to add certain feature requests. I'm not sure the point of this under support preview portal launch. Forget all that. Like you're adding too much in here based off of our context, right? The purpose of this dashboard is for people to come in, check resources they viewed, stay on top of tools that we launch, manage account settings, change their email, change their password, etc. File a support ticket if requested or if required. And then future community tab as well, and portal access for sponsors and potential partners to come on board. But that's something we're working on right now. So remember, less is more. All right. I feel like this is not bright enough, huh? Oh. Just wanted to remember what percent that's at for future reference, because it's an overcast day today, so not too much sun coming through the windows. I'm guessing on a very sunny day, it won't need to be 74%, but just good to know for future reference. All right, I think, listen, I think we're ready to go live. Maybe not public facing, but at least set up the subdomain for this. And then I can hand off the code base to my AI agents to handle it moving forward. But let's go ahead and create a Git repository, call it Clearmud-portal. If it's not already created, make sure it's private and commit. And one quick question before we commit is the top menu bar, right? Brand phase 1, phase 2, admin. That's not going to be shown on the actual deployed site, right? That's just a placeholder. If anything, we should have a toggle in line, top right of the brand view phase 1 module where we can toggle admin to brand. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, and that's a good note. Like when we do create labs.clearmud.ai, you know, that's going to be a completely different suite of tools that I have planned. Maybe you add a labs tab and say coming soon, but like, remember, less is more here. We want to simplify this dashboard. We want it to be effective and be clear, easy to use. Right here, this is a fact. There is not enough time to test everything that I want to test. It's crazy. But I also, now that I'm back after that week of travel, or a couple days of travel rather, I think my time will free up a little bit more. I do have to go have some meetings at some offices from new client, old clients. We want to lock in 2 or 3 retainer-based contracts. That way I have peace of mind knowing that my bills are paid, et cetera, because I just had a sprint of work from January through the end of March. And April, I had to finish up a few projects, but now my time has opened up quite a bit. So I want to make sure I dial in 2 or 3 retainers and then go full stream ahead on Clearmud and just go full time on all my spare time on Clearmud. And then eventually, ideally, hopefully by the end of the year, being practical and realistic with the goal, I don't need those retainers anymore, right? Like I just go full time into this, but baby steps to greatness, baby steps to greatness. Tried Nemotron, gotta say, I love the conversation in chat. I don't even need to I'm learning from reading your guys' conversations. So keep the conversations flowing. I still feel like I'm checking in on the sound. I tried Nemotron. I feel like I'm yelling at you guys, but I hope the sound across, for the majority of you is good. Let me know if it's not. Ooh. Okay, good. It's on the back porch. If I was on the front, I'd have to go get a package, but we're good. Could wait till the end of the stream. I actually want to pull this up too. Where's my pencil? Come to think of it, did I leave that on the airplane? No, I'm smarter than that. Hold on. I haven't left anything on an airplane since I was like a teenager. I think it's in that bag. 1 second. Found it. Sorry about that. Found it. Yeah, when I was younger, I'd left a few things on a plane, and like usually when I make a mistake like that, I never make it again. Maybe we just vibe for a little bit. I go into this view and we chill. I think that's what we'll do. But I am going to be building out. Let's kind of go split screen here. Maybe like that. Hide that. Now, these were bad templates that my agents created. What is this? Okay, here's the full strategy. All right, they're still working. I love it. Yeah, so I'm a big NVIDIA fan. I always have been. It is my goal to have them as a sponsor for the channel and future boot camps. I haven't reached out to them yet, but I'm going to first reach out to an old contact that I had from the, retail computer shop that I used to work in. I doubt he still works there, but he's worth reaching out to because he would know who to send me to, like where to point me in the right direction as far as, listen, I just want to test their equipment and build cool shit with it. I don't even want to get paid from them, at least not yet, right? Send me free hardware. I'll make videos around them, right? And then obviously as I grow, I wouldn't always do that for free for them, but I'm a really big fan of NVIDIA overall. And the idea of having a little box on your desk that controls a local model seems pretty rad to me. Seems pretty rad to me. I just don't have the budget for that right now, right? I gotta put food on the table, pay the bills. That's my main focus right now. But as I grow, we will definitely allocate that budget. Or create a fund, rather, that I can just buy cool shit and we experiment here on the channel. shoot. I knew I should have woken up last night. I had a thought in bed. It was a good one. I knew it would come back to me. Fuck. Excuse my language. Damn it. That's going to bug me. I usually get out of bed to write out ideas, but... It was literally related to everything we're working on right now, too. There we go. This looks a lot better. All right, so for the tools tab on the dashboard, I honestly think that you can put Claw Crib and Prompt Browser in the top module, right? Those modules within that module. And then the tool access on the bottom, like you have certain verbiage here. Like this is unnecessary. The tool access part is unnecessary. Right? Think from the perspective, like the public has access to their own dashboard. So there should not be any terminology as if you're talking to me, right? This needs to be as front facing ready as possible because we are technically live. For the resources page, again, the resource library, that should be on the top module somewhere, co-located. Having it at the bottom doesn't make any sense at all. For labs coming soon, right? You essentially have 3 modules that say the same thing. It's pointless. I want you, before you ping me saying it's ready again, I want you guys to QA this. Remember I said less is more, right? So the fact that I'm looking at labs and I see 3 modules that say the same exact thing in a different way shows me that you didn't take what I said literally. Like the same with community. You have 3 modules that say essentially the same thing. The same with portal, right? Like this is the type of thing I want to solve by you guys QAing your own work, going back and forth with the shared channel. So don't ping me until it's ready for my eyes, please and thank you. Yeah, I think it'll come back. I think it's just bugging me because it was a good one, but I had the thought of like, will I forget this if I close my eyes or will I remember this? And the thought was, I'll remember it. Clearly not. Clearly not. Oh, man. As someone who uses Whisperflow a lot, what are 5 things you would do to improve or implement? I don't know if I have 5 things. One thing I've noticed recently is when I'm talking to it, it will sometimes reword what I say to be more legible, but it doesn't always do a good job. Sometimes it's better just to record word for word, even if it's not articulated in a proper manner, right? Because my thoughts are very raw. I have these brain dumps where my brain just jumps around. And the way I talk to it, I wouldn't talk to a person in a meeting. I wouldn't talk to another business in a meeting, right? Like, so it tries to restructure things to get it like front facing ready. I don't always like that. So I would create like a toggle that allows you to, maybe it already exists and I just didn't look for it, but like or just raw word for word versus automatically optimize the text, the speech to text for me to where I can just send it out in an email proposal. Like let's say you're talking through a proposal, having that option for that, I think is very, very good and smart. But having just a brain dump toggle to where it just takes your speech word for word onto text, I think that's one thing I would add immediately, because that's been a difficulty of mine. Oh yeah, for sure. Right? Like, listen, I'm no senior developer, right? I have a background of network engineering, right? Of hardware, software, and networking. But when it comes to being a full stack engineer, I am not that. So I communicate to my AI like a beginner. Sometimes, you know, I get a little bit more intricate with how I explain things, or more detailed rather. But, you know, for the most part, like, listen, I'm not a full stack engineer, nor have I ever claimed to be one. Okay, interesting. I was just catching up on the convo here. Catching up on the convo here. Oh my good. Let me make sure that's muted permanently. They're cleaning it up quite a bit. Let's go. So right now I'm designing, I wish I can show the screen. I'm designing the UI and look and feel that I want the labs.clearmud.ai to have. I think for future streams, we'll dial in a screen share for the iPad, but for now, none of that. All right, looks like it is ready. 7727. I feel like, didn't something change here? Whoa. All right, dashboard's looking much better, but I'm noticing from in the past 24 hours, our resources page has changed. What happened? I don't think I ever approved that. And if I did, let me know at what point. I don't feel like going to check all the different commits on GitHub. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the simplicity of it, but I'm curious as to where did this change? Where did this go wrong? That way I can improve down the road with our communication here. Interesting. I've heard of a lot of people building a lot of different solutions. But for me, listen, Whisperflow works. Like, I have no need to switch. Really? I mean, maybe I can spend a day extracting like my SOPs and my logic, but my agents close the loop for the most part. Especially Muddy and his Muddy chat. Neo definitely closes the loop. And then together, you know, I have been having to train this shared channel quite a bit, but it's getting better and better. It's getting a lot better. Is he not? I'll handle that here in a second. Let's go take a look. Yeah, there appears to be something wrong with Clay. What's interesting is I had him working last week and we tested him thoroughly, but since I flew back, he's not working. So I need to figure out what is going on. So in the meantime, I will manually apply these roles for everyone. So sorry about that. Let's add role. What's up? Welcome, Peter. What's up, Matt? Welcome. Let me give you a role. And then, hey, for future reference, so Rue, I see you say, hey, bro, but you don't have an introduction. Introduce yourself. And then Bcash, I'll give you guys the role, but like the rule of thumb is if you don't introduce yourself, if you just say, hey, what's up, it's not going to give you a role. Okay. So keep that in mind. We'll manually fix everything right now. There we go. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I'll get on top of it. We'll see what's going on with Clay here. So I'm prompting Muddy here in Discord to fix it for us. Because I'm chatting with Clay, and Clay says something's off with delivery. He's not even picking up those pings like he used to. So something broke in this past week. We'll get it dialed in. Cool. All right, let me just make sure that GitHub is there. Ah. All right. Nice. We're live. Settings. And this should be private. Yeah? Yeah, it's private. Nice. And they're still working, which is lovely. Yeah, no, this was for me as well. Like I've spent countless hours fine tuning how I want them to complete things and operate just day to day and with each prompt. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I notice, I mean, on this shared chat, they're very responsive, but within Clearmud, looks like Muddy is still responding, like he hasn't said a dang thing. And the reason I can't show the screen is there's some sensitive data in that chat that's visible, so I don't want to show that off. But I do want to bring it around here. So I know I'm kind of just working on a few things internally, but we're on day one of helping you, right? Who's starting something today? Who's starting to build something today that their goal is to make 1 million in annual reoccurring revenue? I'd love to hear it. What can I do to help? And, you know, B, are you in the Discord? I'm going to create a new channel that people can start sharing their progress, sharing updates, ask questions, share difficulties on trying to build something. Like I want to hear it, like because we do want to kind of close the loop on the episode, not just keep it open-ended. Ah, okay. Okay. Interesting. Excuse me. I hope you didn't hear that. All right, let's bring back that old hero, right? Because I did like the split. You know, it still has a lot of the characteristics that we had from yesterday, but I did like having that kind of CTA off to the right where we're promoting something new. And BRB real quick. So I'm going to be honest, this UX I'm designing here, or rather this UI I'm designing on the iPad, it gains a lot of inspiration from Muddy OS and Product OS. But I think what this is going to be, and I'm going to aim to have this live by the end of the week, is it's going to be a dashboard where you can log in to start experimenting with some of the tools we want to deploy to help you reach the 1 million in annual reoccurring revenue. So I really like the idea of building this out while we progress with this series. Yeah, I'm going to be working on this on off hours this week. Today I got to record. I'm going to try to record both the videos, but since I'm now posting those long forms on the weekend, I actually have all week to record, or at least until Thursday. But I want to get in the habit of just making sure I record everything that needs to be recorded on a Tuesday. That way I can edit and schedule by Friday, edit Wednesday, fine tune Thursday, and schedule Thursday or Friday, right? Whichever day works best for me. But I'm really loving this layout, this look, this feel. I think that like each module equals modules. And then these obviously are tabs. There it is. All right, there it is. What happened to the grid? I really loved that grid feel that you applied with the slight gradient kind of circles. I do want to let it finish its work though, because it's quite possible that it's still doing the work. Also, keep in mind the width is slightly, for both the resources and the dashboard, it's slightly wider than the content in the nav header. We want to make sure that lines up properly. And then in the meantime, let me go pop on Vercel. We're going to have to definitely deploy some variables for this. I'm going to try to get this live by tomorrow. I'm going to first focus this evening on the portal because I'm getting tired of having to respond to emails individually for, you know, people reaching out for rate cards and whatnot. So I'm just going to have an auto reply saying visit the portal. So that's my priority for today. Then I'll work on the labs feature, which is going to be essentially a UI for us to kind of build off of for this new series. And I want to incorporate a place for people to share. So like a social module. I'm actually curious in the chat, who's old school like me? I like writing out ideas. That's why this iPad is like the best of both worlds. I primarily use Procreate on it just to use it as a blank piece of canvas, rather than actually writing out on a piece of paper, scratching it, throwing it in the trash. I miss that. But when I'm planning things and want to be thoughtful, I love writing out what I'm planning. That's just my old school brain. Chances are, if you're young, if you're born after the 2000s, you don't do that. I could be wrong though. Oh yeah, me too. I have a stack of sticky notepads over there. I used to use sticky notes quite a bit, but now I have a journal. I have a legal pad that I'll write in. But then like in these situations, I have the iPad with Procreate where I just create a new canvas, a new layer for each new page to write things out. And the reason I'm really falling in love with the iPad is my note taker is I don't have to take a picture of my sticky notes or anything like that. I just airdrop this to the laptop. I then paste it in to the agent to build out or reference whatever it is I drew, right? That's funny. Yeah, listen, I think we all have a similar vibe in the sense of like, we need to write things down. And listen, it's good for the brain. It's good. It's a healthy thing to do. And I feel like, sadly, you know, the school systems nowadays, like they're not really teaching kids how to write, at least not how they used to. Like, I don't think they teach cursive anymore. So it's like the world is just going all digital, and I can't say that that's entirely healthy. You know, it's very healthy to take a step back and write things out. And Ryan, very good point. There's a proven connection between writing and retention, let alone the creative process, for sure. All right, but I think I'm loving this UX UI. I'll have to do a UX flowchart of how I want this to work and this is for labs. Clearmud AI. I am for the unplug it until someone complains documentation step. I think depending on the mood. All right, that's looking good. Yeah, once this is live, you guys are going to see a lot of familiarity. I just love this UI. I love the tabs across the top that are dependent on the module you click on the left. It's just, I just love it. It's just a great setup to work out of. So that's how we're building the labs UI as well, for the most part. There's going to be some differentiators, but that's like the foundation it's based off of. Is it just me, or does somebody hear a truck outside? All right, so we want a social. Let's go check in on this work. What's it doing? Nice. Nicely lined up. Nice. The grid is back. All right, we're back. Looks like it did add a new tab, filter tab option here, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but there also appears to be, we used to have a filter row across the entire top of where we have the categories listed. Additionally, you added each category as a filter pill tag when it's on the vertical left menu bar. So let's bring back that bar that's supposed to be below the hero header, but above all the categories and all the props, right? All the resources, where it allows people to filter by most recent, and most clicked, most popular. Like we had certain, this is very concerning how you replaced all that work, but let's dial this in so we don't make this mistake again. Were there any real game changes that came out of your nightly self-improvement? For sure. I mean, primarily in Clearmud OS, like this entire dashboard was built out through various self-improvements. Now, it was kind of tedious at first because I had to improve the self-improvement to say, you know, anytime you recommend something that's redundant or something that can be placed in another tab, X the idea, like early in the early stages of it, it would build me out certain features and it would just add it to the list. And then I would have to take time once a week to go through each idea and be like, I don't like it. I like it. This could actually go here. So like the self-improvement has helped me shape Clearmud OS into what it is, aside from my simple, you know, I originally had the calendar I built, the YouTube script, video to social, live streams, and Signal Studio was renamed recently, but everything else was created by the self-improvement. And now I don't use all these every single day. And these tabs are about to be co-located into these new builds we're doing. But yeah, the Clearmud self-improvement has been solid. The one on Muddy OS, like it's been improving the code base more than anything. But like any notables, I can't say any notables in Muddy OS because I've built out a lot of this from scratch. Like I knew what I wanted. But in Clearmud OS, I mean, I would say the dashboard, all of the metrics that I can come and view from time to time are really cool. Some are kind of outdated. This one's apparently failing to fetch. I haven't come in here in a while. But I really love this one. The optimize, which I don't use as often as I'd like, but it allows me to kind of preview the YouTube thumbnail. When I add a new thumbnail, it allows me to kind of preview in the different forms. Ideation as well. The idea battle is kind of cool to test ideas versus each other. The validator is kind of the same thing. I honestly don't use this one too much. But yeah, I can't say that there were any game changers, so to speak. All the game changers I built from scratch. But it added cool new features to make my life easier for sure. It's most of the sites I work on, no documentation. Exactly, Mr. Baker. Yeah, true. Right here. Yo, happy Tuesday, Corey. Welcome back. How you doing today? Oh, there's definitely something going on outside. All right. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like, though, there should be kind of like a hero header in each tab, or it should just That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So now I just need to take the time to figure out, like, and we're going to build this live, of course, but I think we should have a foundation module, a map module, maybe even a validator module. And also, I think one more thing on the to-do list is make sure that we create a mechanism or a source in OBS to show off the iPad screen. I think that would be fun so you can see what I'm drawing real time. I'm guessing it's as simple as should actually be rather simple. Just going to write test here just to do a test. Now this will just mirror. I'd have to create a new source in OBS. I'll tinker with this off air. We'll also dial in this audio tonight. I got a lot to do tonight, so. Yeah, and you know what? As much as I want to keep going, I think this is a great place to end it. I got to go run some errands. So I got a lot to do tonight. What I would ask is everyone come back tomorrow with what they're building. What are they building that's going to help them reach 1 million annual reoccurring revenue? We're going to continue building what we're building. And yeah, I just want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, for taking time out of your day to come hang. I know today is an unusual day for us to be live streaming. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Like I should be able to do that very, very easily. I just don't want to tinker that while we're live. I'd rather kind of do that off air, get that dialed in, and then we'll be good to go. But yeah, listen, I'm excited. I love this new format. I love hanging out every day. You know, we're going to try to keep it between 2 and 3 hours for our live streams per day. Longer if we need to, of course. And then on top of all my things to do today is I want to at least record a video or two. So, but first things first, I got to go get some groceries. That's like my priority right now. The fridge is just completely empty. So yeah, listen, thanks everyone for stopping by. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you back tomorrow. If you're new here or if you haven't tuned in a while, keep in mind there's no long form videos being posted on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the month of May. Those are going to be on Saturday and Sunday for the month of May as a test as we live stream Monday through Friday. So we'll catch you tomorrow, same time. Until then, happy building. Cheers. Sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate you, Matthew. Appreciate you, John, Corey, Mr. Baker, Ryan, and everyone else. Have a great rest of your day.